Ooh, look how beautiful that is. How do you like that? So, that is a double petunia. And say hi, let us know that you're watching. And do you like those double petunias? We did a poll the other day and just showed, I don't know, 4 different just styles of petunias. And boy, the overwhelming the majority of the poll, that was it. So we decided to just take and do one of our videos on double petunias, or a ruffled.
I said, "Oh, it's a ruffled petunia," and he didn't correct me. And then he blamed me for calling it a ruffle. I'm like, you're the one that posted it.
I didn't dare correct you. My goodness.
It's really a double petunia.
Yep. So that is a double petunia, and let's just grab a single. Just show the difference. Yeah. So that is a double. This is a single. So this is your normal petunia, but this is the double. And don't you think that's gorgeous? They're
totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just totally like this
looks
one
like a
has
little carnation.
This one has more of that throat going on. This one, you can't see that at all. It's just, yeah, it looks almost like, you're right,
a little carnation.
Like a little carnation.
And especially that one's not just, it's a double, and it has that little edging on it. So I mean, there are solid color ones.
What more words can you come up with?
I'm very
okay. So the plant.
Yeah. So moving on before I get hate mail. Okay. So and these are just small right now. They're just starting to kind of crust over the hanging basket, and they're just really starting to bloom and pop those flowers out. So it caught our attention. That's why, like, oh, we got to show this. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this is a double petunia, as we said, and it's just loaded with,
comment yes, you love it, or
yay or nay.
Yay or nay.
Yeah. So would you like a double petunia? And maybe you want to listen, because they do take a little bit of work. So with the double petunias, yeah, this is actually one that you will have to deadhead. So if you just hate deadheading, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they do certainly take some deadheading to them. So you're going to have to clean them up, and it's almost like they close down when they're dead. I think like this one maybe. Yeah, this one's done. So that's kind of what they look like, and will really dry down, and you do have to go through and deadhead, and the proper technique, and we showed this before, but deadheading them is behind the head of the flower. So you actually go through and you nip that whole thing right off. Don't just pull the flower out. You want to go through it and nip that off and force it to produce another bloom. So
well, it would produce greens.
But then it'll form.
It'll
go through and it'll form.
Yeah.
So there is some care. There is some deadheading with them. They're not just carefree. Some of the super petunias, if you want petunias that are really, that you don't have to deadhead, stick with the super petunias, and they're bred to just flower and just keep flowering and just keep flowering. Make sure you're fertilizing them, though. You have to be giving them the nutrients, but
and
they're
that's
bred.
That's the same with these.
Yeah, you do want to. Yeah, absolutely. You still want to be fertilizing at least once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. Remember, once a week is your baseline minimum. So that Fertilizer Friday, that's what most people are going with. But right now, early on in the spring, I fertilized today. So I fertilized Friday and I fertilized today, Monday. So I really want to get this stuff going.
It is, and
it is going, but and at some point that's going to catch up to me, and I'm going to be like,
you have
oh no, now what?
2 weeks till we open, so
I know, but I wanted to get really big, but now I'm starting to look at some of the hanging baskets where they're starting to touch, and I'm thinking, oh no, what are we going to do with all this stuff? We're going to be putting hanging baskets under the bed.
But as far as this plant goes, it's going to be a nice full mounding plant.
Yep.
It's not it will trail some, but not real long.
You're not gonna see the basket. Yeah, I mean, you're
can
already
barely see it right now.
Yeah, we're already there. But it produces a nice big ball, and it has a foliage, and then these flowers. I mean, it's really stunning.
If you can see on here,
I wish that whole thing would just.
So you can see there's all buds up and down there's one, and there's one. There's all little buds everywhere. So it's starting, and it's...
In another week, this thing is going to be massive. Beautiful. Yeah, just massive
the
of flowers. The
blooms on them are smaller.
Yep.
They are more compact and a lot more small than a regular petunia.
But we did notice with the double petunias that we had last year, and I think we had yellow, and they turn out stunning, but it was one of those like, okay, take note that, yeah, it's double, but double petunias, you have to deadhead them.
But they're pretty.
Yeah, they are. They're gorgeous. And just because you have to deadhead, don't shy away from it. It's, take once a week, go through, deadhead it, and, they'll be ready to perform. And that goes through with a lot of different, like verbena. Verbena is one of those that make sure that you're deadheading them once a week. That way it's always kind of fresh. And otherwise, if you let it just bloom all at once, the blossoms will die down, and then you'll have a bunch of dead blossoms on it. So
and
just kind of do it.
If you're taking care of your plants in a cycle, then they're going to continue to bloom in that cycle. So,
if you let it go for 3 weeks,
yep, then you're going to have to.
Yeah, then you clean up. It's going to be naked for a while, and then so
it's better to go like
top of
every just all the time. You stay on top of it. That way, it's more of that continuous bloom going on.
Sure.
But these work great in 4-inch container or in 4-inch pots. We sell them.
Yep. Baskets,
so
the containers.
You can do them in the basket. You can have them in a basket. You can put them in a container with other plants. They play nice with others.
Yeah. What would you put with this with that purple and white? Like if you're going to put this in a container, I'm not a hanging basket, but if you're going to mix this with something.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have design behind me, so I get pickier.
Yeah, because you're floral trained.
I know, but I'm not just like throw all the colors together. And I would stick more with the different shades of purple with this. Maybe a light pink added in, something tall. Yeah. And then that green Ipomoea coming down the side, I think would look stunning. Yeah. Because if they stick too much color, the other color, like if there's some of the other colors that would just drown this out. And you would not even see this. It would just blend right in as foliage-y type look. Yeah. So to enhance that color, some white alyssum. I wouldn't even do white maybe because it already has white in it, and that white's pulling your eye, which is where you want it to be. Yeah. But maybe a light pink or more purples, more lavenders. Sure. Something to enhance it. But yeah, you wouldn't
go with anything bold.
I would not.
But that's you. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different tastes in and even when we help people in the greenhouse and you kind of put something together and they might be like, I don't really like that.
You can pick 3 of us. Yeah. And all 3 of us will have completely different styles. You are more of the hot, bold, as many colors as you can throw in there.
I like curb appeal. Yeah. Man, I see that. Somebody's driving past, they see it, it grabs their attention, and some people want more subtle.
And I don't want to say that mine is subtle. I would just say that I pick a plant that I want to highlight, and then I base everything around what I want you to focus on. Yeah. So
we were talking about this the other day where, and you did a hanging basket that you put the potato vine on one side, and then you're kind of questioning because you said
I don't like that
because it was unbalanced because you're floral trained, like professionally, so you like that balance on when you would do floral, doing up an arrangement that you like the balance of stuff.
Yes. And I'll just say yes.
Yeah. And the next person
loves it.
Yeah. So it's, there's such variety. And so we can't just be cookie cutter and do everything the same because
and that's why when I design stuff, I know what you like. So I'll be like, okay, well, there's people like him. We're going to do something like this, and there's people like me, and we're going to do something like this. So that, that's the creative part of doing this. But if you're going in and you're saying, oh, I don't know if I like that container. Yeah, you might not. It's art. Yeah. It really is. It's art with flowers at that point.
But anyway, the double petunias are stunning, and they make just a fantastic hanging basket. I had somebody say like, oh yeah, petunias don't like me. And I kind of laugh at some of the comments, and the petunias don't not care. Like you. What they don't like is not being cared for. And, I know exactly what happened right off the bat because I've seen it 10,000 times. they didn't water it, they didn't care for it, and it died on them, and they said, the petunias didn't like me.
And then they did the same thing the next year.
Yeah, and stop, you gotta stop the madness. Like, stop doing what doesn't work, and figure out what didn't work, and that, I call that auditing yourself, meaning, okay, that didn't work. Why didn't it work? It didn't work because I didn't water it. Or I watered it until it came out the bottom. And I did that for 60 days in a row. The roots rotted, the plant died. And somebody just mentioned that in one of the comments. I saw that. She's like, why did my petunias just die? I'm like, well, I know why, because I've seen it. This is not my first rodeo. You watered it until it ran out the bottom. And you did that day after day after day, and the roots rotted. And the plant was dying.
They looked great until it did.
Until the roots rotted. And it looked great still for a little bit, and then it just, boom, it died. Well, it was dying for the last 2 months because you were overwatering it consistently. And they don't just... It didn't just give up the ghost. It was just that things were not correct with it. Yeah. So, yeah. So, like I said, I call that auditing yourself. Stop doing the same thing over and over again if it's not working for you. You have to stop. And the petunias don't care about your personality, or they don't dislike you. They dislike not being cared for properly. And, if you got a puppy... Okay, I'm going to go there. If you got a puppy and you didn't feed it and it died, you wouldn't say, well, the puppy didn't like me. I mean, the puppy didn't like not eating and being watered or whatever, having that care that it needed. And I think that people are so flippant about their plants that they don't think through it. Like, if you had a puppy, you would think, like, oh, I need to feed it.
Well, I think it's because
need to take it outside.
Plants everywhere around us. There's trees, there's shrubs, there's plants everywhere, and they're living without any human assistance all over the place.
But these need assistance.
But these need assistance.
Yeah, when they're in a container, they need that proper care, and
even in the ground, it comes down to variety. It's not a native plant.
So the way to have a really awesome year and grow beautiful plants and flowers is by caring for them. So
I thought you were going to say watch all your videos.
And watch, good segue. We literally have hundreds of how-to videos on our YouTube channel. There's no reason why you can't have beautiful plants and flowers. The information's there. We don't even charge for it. It's there. You just have to go get it. And, but anyway, they need that daily care. And if you want to have beautiful plants and flowers, ask the people that have beautiful plants and flowers what they're doing, because they're doing something right. And chances are
they're watering.
They're putting the time and effort into it. You're not going to have a beautiful landscape and have incredible flowers that people stop and take pictures of and oogle over without putting in the effort. So we have beautiful flowers in our greenhouses, and outside when we go through and decorate, we have an awesome display, but we put the time into it. I mean, that's my job. So the time and effort is put into it, and then it looks like it does. Mm-hmm. But if you're just gonna grab a hanging basket and put it outside and never do anything with it, it's gonna be dead in 48 hours. That's just how the world works.
So that is your double petunia.
And we're going to be highlighting other... I mean, we'll be talking a lot about petunias.
Can we talk about tomorrow? Can we talk about coleus? Because, you're blocking it. Look at...
Huh?
Move over here once.
What am I blocking?
Look at all the coleus. Do you see
yes.
inside?
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Stop manhandling me. So, yeah, I actually was thinking about that. So we're on the same page. I was like, we got the coleus actually in the front greenhouses is absolutely stunning, and we should be talking about that. She just can't. She can't handle it.
Look at how pretty.
They are gorgeous.
They're not,
do you like sun coleus?
Yeah, they don't flower, but the foliage on it
stunning.
is amazing. And when you put this in containers,
it makes a stunning container.
Stunning.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And you can always go to our beatyourneighbor.com website. We have a lot of tips and tricks. There's blog articles. And of course, our YouTube channel has hundreds of how-to videos, even on petunias and watering and soil and you name it. Yep. It's there. So be sure to check out all the different videos on YouTube. So we'll talk to you again.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.